Hey everyone, CT here coming at you with another Torchlight Infinite build guide. This build is extremely unique and this is my Immortal armor stacking Whirlwind Rehan guide. So we'll start off by showing you guys the damage capabilities of this build. As you can see within a second, we are quickly capping the dummy at over 99 million DPS. Next, we'll go ahead and move into the skills. For the main skill, I picked up Whirlwind with Precision Strike, Critical Strike damage increase, Crit Strike rating increase, Raging Slash, and Channel Preparation. The next is our Immortal skill, which is Resurrection Warcry with extended duration, armor infusion, cooldown reduction, and pain amplification. For our next skills, our movement skill, which is leap attack with quick mobility, mark, and periodic burst. Next, we have Bull's Rage with soul focus, death will, and mass effect. For our last active skill, we have Bloodthirst with mania, mass effect, and bloodbath. For our first aura setup, we have Cast when channeling with vulnerability, precise seal conversion, precise magical source, and abysmal hatred. Our next aura setup, we're running precise steadfast with precise seal conversion, stand as one, precise swiftness, and selfishness. For our last aura setup, we're running precise acuteness imbue with summon thunder spirit, precise fearless, and restrain. Next, we'll go ahead and move into our talents. First up, we're taking God of War. For our first main trait, we're taking Brutality. For our second, we're taking Endless Fervor. And I will scroll through the talents for you all. For our second set of talents, we're taking Ronin. Our first main trait is Sprinkle. Our second is Falling Leaves. Now I will scroll through these talents for you guys. For our last talent tree, we're taking the Brave. For our first main trait, we're taking Resolve. And our second main trait is we're taking Formless. I will now scroll through these talents for you all. Next, we'll move into the Pacts. I am taking the Cloudless Sky for the Elemental Resist, the Otter for some more Elemental Resist, and the Red Umbrella. Next, we'll go ahead and move into the gear. So for my first piece, which is my only crafted piece, my crafted helm, we get gear armor, additional armor, which is our ominous roll, resists, and more resists. For our first legendary piece, we're taking Imperial Might. Our second piece is the Forlorn Crystal. This is a needed corrode on this piece to increase your damage. For our gloves, we're taking Ordor. For our Infinity Belt, we need the skill duration and the cooldown recovery, and we are taking Ember Armor for the huge damage increase that it provides. Next, for our boots, we are taking Mind Infusion boots. Again, more armor. For our rings, we're taking the double corrode for the cooldown recovery. We get our minimal channeled stacks because it's in the left slot, and we get 20% chance to deal double damage. For our right ring, because the other one was left stack only, we got the corroded to max out our channeled stacks. Cooldown recovery again, and this one didn't need to be corroded because this is in our right ring, and that's more double damage. For our weapons, we're using 2 Supremacy's Forge. This is a big damage increase to have this corrode on the weapon. And then this is the same corrode on this weapon as well. As you can see, when we move into our info, we're at 40 million sheet DPS. We're not worried about the erosion resist cap because we are immortal because of the war cry, but just in case it falls off or you miss the cast on it, we did cap our resistances. We have about 5.3k health. If you move over to our sheet, we are about 1.2 million armor. I'll go ahead and scroll through all of these for everyone. Next, lastly, we will move into our hero traits where we take anger, frenzy furious, rampaging, boiling anger, and reverberation. And for our skills down here, we take hardened and we take steamroll. So we will go ahead and do a playthrough so you guys can see the build in action. We will go ahead and do a Path of Brave 5. As you can see, mobs pretty much get melted. The only reason you see our health go down at all is not from damage intake, but from our Bull's Rage and Bloodthirst. So we will continue to move through this. Hopefully we'll get a boss to show you guys. Okay, level 41 is done. We'll move into 42. Unfortunately, we got mobs again. This build, just to add, has cleared all content. I have cleared Uber Keegan deathless. I have killed the T8 Traveler deathless, and I have cleared all the Watchers deathless. And a fun thing to note about the Traveler fight is the vortex that he sucks in when a lot of people die to finding the gap in that. I can just face tank it and just sit there. Uber Keegan can be face tanked 90%. Let's hope we get some bosses here. Here's some bosses, and I will just go ahead and face tank this and go ahead and just sit in this. Not move. We're not worried about it. We're not going to die. We do use leap because we have a mark on our leap, so we got to make sure we're leaping to refresh that mark. And as you can see, the bosses are dead there. We'll go ahead and move to 44. Fortunately, we got some mobs again. Again, this is pretty mindless. The big part of this build is making sure you cast Warcry on cooldown. I can put my skills up here so you can see Warcry falls off right when it's time to recast it. So there's really not a lot of margin for error on your Warcry. So you want to make sure you're constantly casting it on cooldown because that is 100% your immortality right there. Just keep going through here. And there it is. There's 44 is done. We'll go ahead and move to 45. And unfortunately, it's mobs again. So we did get to see one boss setup, which was good. You guys got to see it just sit there and face tank the boss, not have to worry about much. I am level 100 on this character. I did most of 99 deathless. I died a few times when making adjustments to the build and testing things out, but once the build was up and running, it was pretty easy leveling all the way to 100. So you can see our mana doesn't move as well, so we're pretty safe there. That is one of the reasons we are running the Precise Magical Source to keep our mana full. You can choose not to run Precise Magical Source. That's fine too. If you want to run Rejuve or edit your auras a little bit, I normally for a while wasn't running it just because you don't need the mana because of Whirlwind and it brings back all your mana regen. But on fights like Uber Keegan, when the boss is invulnerable, you will lose your mana on that and not be able to cast your Warcry. But that's the build, guys. I appreciate everybody's support. We have a few more guides coming out before the end of this season. I have a Flame Slash Gemma guide coming out and my final build for Moto as well. So again, keep a lookout. I appreciate all the support and everyone have a wonderful day.